Not number one, Dad.
So what? Go number two. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna have a little rant. Go.
I want to listen to it. My goal tonight is to act as flesh and bones clickbait for you.
Thank you. And we're live. Bam. 4 seconds in the show. Okay, guys, we're live on the Sevan Podcast. Thank you. Sevan, did you let your kids partake in Halloween? I do. I do let my kids partake in Halloween. I do. There's a whole like a method to that madness, though. They're still kind of young, and you can throw all their candy away without them knowing. You still have COVID. I don't know if I have COVID. I think I was born with it. Okay, guys, I love you. The Sevan Podcast live, 6 o'clock with James Hobart, Matt Souza pushing the buttons, and Sevan Matosian and Danielle Brandon supposed to be here, and she is not. It's probably a horrible way to advertise the show on my Instagram. Let them know Danielle isn't here. Hobart, go to the bathroom and do your thing.
No, I'm good, man.
Hey, what if I tried to call Danielle Brandon using Instagram? Didn't we try to do a show with her already live? And she said that she would, she had the time wrong or something. Danielle, you still join us? We're live now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Souza.
People are going to be so pissed.
So pissed. Hey, I want you guys to know we never plan on having her on the show. That's just a way to get you peeping Toms to watch.
So far, we're 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Yeah, with tricking the people into thinking she's going to come on the show. What's crazy, she came on the show with Hopper. She makes that show no problem. Then we have Hobart on, and she doesn't.
That makes sense to me. I can take that heat. I can take that.
Ask Danielle what sheets Brian has. Damn.
Dude. Inappropriate. Blocked.
Yeah. How dare you, Hunter? So I have this issue when I see bathrooms and it says all gender bathrooms, or when I just like anything, like I go to the Reebok website and I'm buying and they're asking me what gender I am. I want to read you guys, and this is really important because you dumb down all of us when you don't use the words right. People use the word gender and they have no idea what it means. And I'm going to read you the definition of gender, okay? It's a pretty broad definition, but I'm going to give you one just off of Google that pretty much nails it. Gender is used to describe the characteristics of women and men that are socially constructed. So by that, I mean, I'm going to read it to you one more time. Gender is used to describe the characteristics of women and men that are socially constructed. You have to understand gender is not real. It's like Bigfoot. It's made up. It's like red means stop. That's made up. Now, that's okay. It's not. I'm not saying anything derogatory. Nothing derogatory about gender, but it's just in your head. No two people could ever exactly understand another person's gender. I don't even have a gender. I don't even think about that stuff. I don't even have a gender. But what I do have. Oh, you want to say something? You want to fight, Hobart? You want to fight?
No. I was going to agree. I was going to say, so if we rewound time to when humans started popping up and creating cultures and societies, it could have turned out different. Genders could be totally different from what we know them as now.
Dude, I had my boys with long hair, girls capri pants, and wife beater. And the reason why I did that is because I always thought Baryshnikov was the most masculine dude ever. And other people are like, oh my God, you're trying to be progressive and make your kids feminine. No, my idea of what masculine was for my kids is just different than what yours was. I was picking a different gender for them, but it's not real. It's all made up. So when you have a bathroom sign that says all genders welcome, that's idiocy. That's redundancy. What you mean to say is both sexes are welcome. And when you conflate those definitions, you make all of us dumber. You make all of us dumber. I'm going to define what sex is for you. What I do to your mom. Sex is either of the two main categories, male and female, into which humans and most other living things are divided on the basis of their reproductive functions. Now, that is signifying something that's real. We can both point to Hobart and be like, he is not a seahorse. He does not carry the baby. His sex is male human. Most likely he has a penis. I mean, there's no way to know for sure. I mean, there is a way to know, but I don't think he's going to. I mean, for the sake of this
Is this show ready for that?
So in my opinion, I think it's for the most part, it's a waste of time to worry about what your gender is. At least for someone like me, I'm just cruising. I'm just cruising. Like, and there's gender roles that I think are fun and cool. Like I liked, do you know Mark Bell, Smelly Bell on Instagram?
I do, yeah.
So he's got this mustache that I find is like, reminds me of like this quintessential 1980s homosexual man. And then he's got this really buff body, and he has his shirt off and he's flexing, and he's in San Francisco. And I just like that because I think it's having fun with his gender rules, right? So I mean, I like going to those shows. I like going to those shows where the dudes are dressed up as women and they dance and sing. I like all that shit.
You
don't lie to yourself. It's made up. It's not real. Red does not mean stop. Green does not mean go. We made this up just to have fun. Don't conflate the two. And I'm gonna tell you some other things, two other examples that are a little different. They're not on subject, but it'll give you an idea of what the power of thinking and dumbing us down. Gatorade has more electrolytes in it than water, but Gatorade also, wow, going
Matt, go down to the first post, and then we'll get back to Gatorade, and just click on the comments for the most recent post, because I want everyone to see Sevan's comment.
Oh, how do you know?
Oh,
Sousa.
It's all right. I'll read it for the world. Sevan Matosian. Oh. I'd honk my horn at that.
I'd honk my horn at. That's good, right?
I mean, yeah. Mark Bell looks good.
Do you know why? I had my shirt off one time in San Francisco, and it was after a rave I went to, and I was just standing on the street, probably just rolling ecstasy, and I was near Golden Gate Park, and I had my shirt off, and a car drove by and honked at me, and it was these dudes in the car, and that's the only time anyone's ever honked at me. I think that's the only time anyone's ever like gone out of their way to be like, "Hey, you're good looking," or "I want to fuck you," or whatever. However I interpreted it. But what if
their honk meant put your shirt back on?
Oh, I hate you. Okay, so when you drink Gatorade, there's more electrolytes in it than water. But when you drink Gatorade, you're still diluting your electrolytes. Like, do you understand what the importance of thinking is? Why it's important to think? I'm going to give you another thing. People will say coffee will dehydrate you. But actually, if you just eat a handful of the beans, they might dehydrate you. But if you get a coffee, you are probably actually hydrating yourself. The water in the coffee is like 99.99% water. Like, you just have to think a little bit. Just think a little bit. And I want to apologize for calling LeBron James the C word on my last show. I didn't like that. I did that.
Would you say that to him to his face?
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah. I mean, totally. Like if he FaceTime me.
Well, if you FaceTime. No, if you were like standing toe to toe with him. So for you, it would be like you'd be just staring into his kneecaps.
His balls resting on my head.
Well, I like that you apologized.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's frustration. It's just name calling. Oh, listen to this. Look at these texts coming in. Danielle Brandon, I'm still at the grocery store. I swear to God, you think we would tolerate this from someone who's not as good looking? Do you?
She does have a lot of Instagram followers. Let's chime in. First news report from the grocery store.
Thanks guys for tuning in. This is the news show. We're 9 minutes in, and we begin. Good evening, James Hobart.
Sevan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. You see, I put gel in my hair.
You look great. Not new glasses, but I don't see those a lot.
Yeah, these are kept in the safe.
I took a cold shower before I came on, so.
Today's my 65th week of fasting for 36 hours.
How do you feel?
I have no idea what it is. After 52, I stopped counting. I feel amazing. This is actually a hard part of the day for me, 6 p.m. But I'll sleep tonight and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll feel amazing. All my inflammation will be gone. I don't recommend it for everyone, but if you're 49, I highly recommend it. I did some workouts today. I worked out today, and then after I worked out, I did 100 pull-ups with Avi, which I'll post on my Instagram soon.
And your boys competed in a competition this weekend?
Yeah,
recently?
that was cool. Jiu-jitsu competition.
Heck yeah.
And you know what? I only show the good shit on my Instagram, but you should know that I went to a jiu-jitsu competition a couple weeks ago. It was my boys' first one, and they got the shit whooped out of them. But
Whooped.
this week we cleaned house. This week, man, Garth Taylor jiu-jitsu. Avi was whooping.
Did he win?
He did.
Do they do awards right now at this point in their?
Yeah. And although he lost his second match, I'm gonna give him the win for it. He put this girl in a rear naked choke, and he had her in a rear naked choke for probably 2.5 minutes. Are the rounds 3 minutes? I think the rounds are 3 minutes. And the last and he was winning 6-0 in points. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what she did, but next thing I know, with 1 second left, she got 4 points. I think she got him in mount, and she had gotten 3 points for getting out of his rear naked choke. So she won 7-6, but I'm giving him the win.
When do they
And you know what I said to him? So we were in the car, and I go, "Damn, some chick with glasses whooped you." And he looks at me, he goes, "Not really."
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. And then my other boy Joseph, he won his first round, and then his second round it went the distance, and he lost in points. And I go, "Hey man," I'm like, "That kid looked older than you." He goes, "Nope, Heidig means dad in Armenian." He goes, "That boy was faster than me."
Damn,
that's a 4-year-old. I was like, "Damn."
Do you notice that the younger kids who do that in general have more self-awareness or / poise than in that sport than other sports you see young kids play? I feel like that's pretty, like, to have that. I mean, I think most kids, if you talk to them, they always have that amazing like ability just to present data without being jaded from life experience. You know, they just kind of say things. Like one time when I was really little, my grandfather had trouble getting in the car, and I was like, "Grandpa, you're like a fat whale," and it was true. You know, like he was overweight. But you know, I wasn't colored by like, "Don't say that, it's your grandfather."
Oh,
you know,
I
you
thought
can't
there
call
was
people
going to be
fat.
more. I thought
No, that was it.
He slapped the shit out of me.
Yeah. And then that's when I can never see Grandpa again because he beat me up. No.
Yeah, I heard my kids tell someone the other day that they asked why are your arms so jiggly, and the person wasn't like morbidly obese. They were 20, 30 pounds overweight.
But they had more jiggly arms than they had noticed among other people.
Yeah, I mean, my wife has no jiggle.
No. And you know,
I have some jiggle. I have a little jiggle.
You need to fast longer.
I'm a 160-pound man and a 135-pound body.
But they have a lot of poise. They have really that's high self-awareness to say, "No, he was faster than me. That's why I got beat." That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's shitty parenting on my part.
Because you asked him that he was older?
I was just giving him an out. I was giving him an out. I was making excuses for him. I wasn't keeping it real. I was being a bitch. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's the way I take it.
When do they stop having boys and girls compete against each other? Or is that just always allowed? Is that allowed up to any, as long as everybody's like?
The last tournament I was at, they split the sexes up. They split the sexes up, regardless of gender. They split the sexes up, but they don't normally do that at this age. And I'm telling you, the girls at that last tournament we went to, I'm so lucky they weren't in my boys' class, because the girls are freaks. They are so good. I think from what I can tell, the girls are better than the boys.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean they're really.
I gotta learn more about that discipline. I'm so lagging behind.
There's always David Friend says there's almost always 1 or 2 thumbs down on these, and it's got to be someone who just hates Sevan. What are the other choices?
They could hate me. I could take that too. Maybe it's one for each of. I hope it's one for each of us.
Does this show have a dislike on it already? Someone tell me, because what's funny, Matt, do we have a dislike already? Oh, we do.
Yeah, because it's the second time we've clickbaited the world here with Danielle Brandon.
Oh, that's true. We kind of deserve one dislike for that. You're right. I've had people on my Instagram do some pretty malicious shit too, like basically just start reporting all sorts of crazy shit that's not true, to try to get me in trouble. I basically had to erase any pictures of my boys with their shirts off working out. Sevan, hot take on the EU vax passport being abandoned. I don't think it's the whole entire EU. I think it was just England, and I don't even think it's Wales and Scotland and that other country with the elves and the Lucky Charms. Oh, how insensitive. Ireland. But oh.
What is that?
We'll take a phone call from Oklahoma
That's
City.
I'm so glad you changed another terrible ringtone. Thank goodness.
I don't think the last ringtone was that bad. Chris Doron, are you here to admit that you gave us a thumbs down?
No, that was not me.
All right.
I would give you a thumbs up too.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Please log in under a fake name and I'll give us 2 thumbs up.
So I have a question for you since you were talking about the gender thing. Did you see the MMA fighter?
Oh.
I think her name was like Alani McLaughlin.
Yeah, I did see that. It's an interesting thing, right? I don't know how matches are made, but I'm perfectly okay with it as long as the person who's fighting them is okay with it. But it is freaking weird. I don't know if you saw what happened, Hobart. A dude who is now Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, a dude who is now a chick because they had their penis removed and turned into a vagina, got into a cage with a woman who was born with a vagina, and they fought. And the person that had their penis removed and turned into a vagina beat the shit out of the other one. Won. And so people are like, hey, that's basically a dude who beat up a chick. And it's yeah, I need to think about that more. I can't tell what I think about that. Am I being sexist because I don't think it's okay for women to beat up? Am I just old school? Like, what's wrong with me? How come I'm not okay with that? I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting topic for sure. I think there should be some sort of testing, like your testosterone levels. It's just like, I mean, there's an interesting conversation. Like, not every man is created equal. That's why there's, weight classes. And so, like, for myself, like, I weigh 170. I would not want to go up against John Jones at 250. So,
do you fight? Are you a fighter?
I am not. I train, but I would not consider myself a fighter.
Right. You punch. Yeah, that's me. Me too. Me too. I had a bob in the garage. I punch it. I pretend like it's Hobart and I punch it, but it doesn't punch back. But let's just flip the script for a second. Would we it would be kind of cool to see Amanda Nunes, who Hobart, I don't know if you follow MMA, but she's the greatest female fighter of all time, like hands down. She might be the greatest fighter of all time. She has 2 weight classes, belts in 2 weight classes, and she's holding them both down. I mean, it's nuts. And they can't find any competition for her. It would be so fun to watch her fight, like I don't know, like a super lightweight fighter, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be
I would
amazing.
love to see her go up against, like, I wouldn't say TJ Dillashaw or anything, but that'd be a pretty interesting fight.
I think TJ's too big for her. Sorry, I'm receiving a FaceTime call. I'm doing a podcast. What's up?
Is this one live?
This one is live. You're on with...
Oh, shit. I can't... Fucking, it's career suicide if I'm associated with you. I can't let people know I'm talking to you. Hang up. This is really live? Edit this out. I can't be associated with you.
Hey, I like your mustache. God, he's turning into an adult.
I'm glad he's got the mustache back.
Remember when he was your boss, Hobart? Sorry, Chris, for interrupting. When TDC calls, it's rare, but I got to take it live.
Hey, I understand. At least Danielle Brandon comes to his podcast.
hey,
he's
listen,
right.
Chris.
Damn.
Oh, Chris, listen. I want to tell you something.
I'm going to go to Chris's YouTube and give him a thumbs down.
Yeah, me too. Chris, I think she actually did flake on them. Someone did. I think she actually flaked on them, and they had to pull in someone last minute. I can't remember, but I said something to him, and he told me that she flaked on them too. So it made me actually feel better because I knew he was gonna love it that she flaked on me. What's crazy though? Here, let me ask you this, Chris. She flakes on us, right? But then she flakes on us one show, And then, someone's calling from Beverly Hills. Do I ditch Chris or do I just bring in a second caller?
Ouch.
Yeah.
No, we'll just stay with Chris. Chris, give me your opinion on this. She calls in. She does our show. Wait, did she do our show? Yeah, she did our show, and then she missed one of our shows, and then she came back on for the Hopper show, and then she missed another one of our shows. Do you think that she specifically didn't miss the show with Hopper because Hopper was on it, or do you think that's just coincidence?
I would think it's coincidence, but I did see. So I'm from Oklahoma, and I did see she was from Oklahoma, and I know Vegas, Chicago. That's kind of the middle point for her and Brian. So,
hey, I don't. Is she really from Oklahoma? I like getting Brian thrown in the mix, but I know she's in Oklahoma doing something. I mean something.
Yeah, I did notice that on her Instagram, so I found that interesting. I was like, oh, someone famous in Oklahoma. Not very common, especially like CrossFit.
Oklahoma. All right, Chris. Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling.
All right, thanks.
All right, don't hit girls.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I struggle with the hitting the girls thing, and I know someone's gonna yell at me and be like, "Well, that's not a girl, or that's not a boy hitting a girl. That's a girl hitting a girl." I don't know. I'm not sure, but you shouldn't be doing drugs in sports, and or if you, I guess it's transparent. I guess I like honesty and transparency more than above anything else.
Yeah, both fighters agree to it.
Yeah. Danielle isn't here because Brian isn't here. Hey, dude, she doesn't know Brian's not here. She doesn't know Brian's not here. I watched the U.S. Open today. Are you going to talk about the U.S. Open at all?
Not at all. Do you want me to?
I'll talk about it real quick right now. And there was a guy, Medvedev won, the guy from Russia. Jeez,
Medvedev smashed it.
Should we take another call?
3 in a row. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But you guys open it all?
I like it when people call because I use my special voice. Hello. Calling from Beverly Hills. How can I help you?
Who is it?
Hello.
Who is it?
This is the number you called. How can I help you?
What do you think about James Newberry and his girlfriend breaking up?
Oh, James Newberry. I don't know about that situation. Would you like to share with us the details of it?
Just check out the Instagram.
Well, I hope I'll send him a box of Kleenex and some candies and maybe
What
a
does she?
Playboy.
What does she think about it? What does she think about it?
What do you think about it? Great question, Hobart.
Thank you.
You know what? No comment.
And what is your name, Miss Beverly Hills?
It's Miss Beverly Hills.
What a great name. All right. Well, thank you. This is not a gossip show. Please refrain from bringing your gossip to our show. This is
actually
a news show.
Not technically true.
It is the news, though, so...
Please, let's have Hobart weigh in on that. Is that news, Hobart? James Newberry breaking up with his beloved ex-girlfriend or previous girlfriend or boyfriend or something?
I mean, he's got 200 is it news? Gosh, that's a philosophical question. Yeah, sure, it's news. It's news for people who are really concerned about that kind of stuff.
This is Jessica Pearson, I think, calling.
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, I hope everything's good with him. He's a really nice guy. I've only met him a couple times.
And her.
So,
hey, isn't that? I know Hobart is breathing heavy. I like it. I'm aroused by it. Hey,
you guys told me to turn up the mic, so now this is what you're getting: heavy mouth breathing.
Hobart has a job, so he has to give those correct answers. I hope Newberry and his ex-girlfriend are doing well together.
Yeah, I do. I do. I hope that's true.
No, you do have a job. What is this, Jerry Springer? Jessica Pearson says I'm not calling. She's not calling. Okay. So Novak Djokovic won or lost the U.S. Open today. If he would have won it, he would have been the first guy like in 50 years to win the Super Grand Slam all within 1 year. And he lost it to a guy named Medvedev, which I never thought I would ever be able to pronounce, a Russian kid. It was an amazing game. I realized I hated tennis up until about a month ago, and my son's tennis instructor kind of makes us watch it. So I started watching it, and I realized that, you know what tennis is? Tennis is baseball, but with all the bad shit taken out. Like, baseball is really stupid. I used to go to a bunch of baseball games, but tennis is just the hitting part. Just dudes hitting. It's cool. It's just a lot of good hits. And they're really skinny. They're painfully thin, these guys.
He smashed his racket.
Yeah, that was cool. He smashed a racket. Anyway, at the end, this guy Medvedev wins $2.5 million. And they say, and to present the check from the Diversity, Equity, Inclusivity Department, head of Diversity, Equity, Inclusivity at JP Morgan. And this guy comes out with a check and $2.5 million and hands it, or he walks over and shakes his hand, or he hands him something. I can't remember. But I kind of started seeing red, because first of all, anytime you see diversity, equity, and inclusivity, all that does is scream of racism and shitty leadership. Equity always comes at the cost of equality. Anywhere you see equity, you know it's someone's foot on someone else's neck. It is evil. Equality is what we want, people. We do not want equity. They're passing that word off because it sounds like we call equality. Equity, I've said this before, it's what you have in prison. You all will have the same sheets. Your doors will close all at the same time. You will all eat the same thing. You do not want equity. It ruins society. It's okay that Bezos is rich as shit and that he flies to space. Clap your hands and be happy. It's why we all have iPhones. It's why my dad had to fucking live in a 10 by 10 square concrete hut with 9 brothers and sisters and be raised there 77 years ago, 67 years ago, 57 years ago. He escaped from that. 10 kids being raised in a fucking 10 by 10 concrete hut with no electricity in the bathroom 50 yards away. And that no one has to do that anymore in this country. Actually, he didn't do it in this country. That's a little bit of a stretch. He did it in Lebanon. But anyway, if JP Morgan wants to help people, build gyms in fucking East Brooklyn, build gyms in Compton. You just want to fire that guy and do something to really help people. Don't have that council is just bullshit. It's a facade. It's a fucking joke. But I'm not name calling anyone. I'm telling you that the idea, because I don't want to name call. Shit, I have a hole in my crotch. It's just sad to see such a bullshit job. And you know what the irony is? Here's the funny part. Of all the people on the floor, everyone was white. Do you know who the one black guy was? And sorry if I'm disrespecting any Mexicans. Maybe there were some Mexicans there, some Pakistanis. But the guy from JP Morgan was black. That diversity, equity, inclusivity guy. Of the fucking 200 people on the floor. Fucking joke. He's probably a good dude, though, and he's wearing a nice suit. The news. Let's do it.
I almost wanted to jump ahead to a story about charity on that note, but we'll wait till we get there.
Okay. When Danielle Brandon comes, you're going to have to talk to her for a few minutes so I can pee.
Yeah, I will. She, hopefully she will. Find out what she went grocery shopping for. All right, story number 1. We're going to keep this rolling because I think people are interested, and my goal now is just to try and get as many thumbs down as possible.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm going for a new metric.
Okay.
Kim's new...
Whoa. What is that?
This is Kim Kardashian. Dressed up. This is an outfit she wore out. All leather outfit.
Sorry, Hobart. Call from Australia. It's a good friend from... Oh, geez. Do you think this is James Newberry?
If it is, I hope he blasts you.
James, I was disgusted by the fact that girl called in with spreading rumors about you. I'm very sorry. Would you like to come on my show sometime? James? Newberry?
Hello.
Is this James Newberry?
Hello, this is James Newberry.
Ha! I knew it. Sounds just like him. I want to apologize for any rumors that started on this show about you and your girlfriend.
That is all right.
Oh, thank you.
I got a question.
Yes, go ahead, James.
I want to know, is Jason Hopper living rent-free in Justin Medeiros' head?
It's the other way around.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I really, really... Did you say it one more time? Maybe you said it wrong. Or maybe you guys just see everything backwards because you're in Australia. Go ahead, say it one more time.
is Jason live? Sorry, is Jason? Is Justin living? Jason living rent free in Justin's head.
Oh shit! We got to go for a third time. Now I want you, Jane, Mr. Newberry.
Sorry.
I want you to take a deep
Justin's
breath.
living rent free in Jason's head.
Yes, yes, yes.
100%.
Yes, that is
Do you
correct.
agree with that statement?
Yes, that is correct. That is 100% correct. Not only Hopper's head, he's in everyone's head. He's living rent free in everyone's head, even Hobart's head.
Yeah, he said I was too old to compete at the Rogue competition.
He said
What a
it.
beast. Yeah, he said that last time. He said, he said, or no, because I wanted someone to coach me. I said, can you think Matt would coach me? He goes, are you 22? I'm too old to get coached by Matt Fraser.
Justin Medeiros is yeah. What do you think? What do you think, James? Mr. Newberry.
I think that he is owning real estate in his head.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think he's going to get over that? You think Hopper's going to get past that?
Nah, I reckon Justin all day.
Yeah, he's going to win next year, huh?
Dynasty. Yeah.
He should. You know what Justin Medeiros should do right now? He should start training MMA too.
Well, he was a wrestler. He could be great at it.
He should just start another sport simultaneously. Yeah, why not? Why not train in striking and some jiu-jitsu for the next 5 years, and when he's 27, just parlay that into something else? You know, the CrossFit community would lose their shit. And he could fight women. He could fight women. He could fight women. What?
What about Justin versus Jason in a boxing match? Who takes it?
Oh, now? I don't know. Hopper's scary, man. He's a big man. Hopper is a big dude.
What about in a spike ball match?
I don't approve of spike ball. I don't approve of spike ball.
I think Jason would beat him.
Spike ball is a bullshit sport, and it's just you guys with good bodies. It's just all you fuckers with great bodies having an excuse to take your clothes off and dance around a little net while the rest of us keep our t-shirts on at the beach and we'll look at you.
I'd honk at that.
That's
what I'm saying. I'd honk at that.
I don't approve of that as any. I don't approve of that. I don't approve of that.
So what happens if one of your boys came up and they was like, Dad, can I play spike ball? Would you approve?
Someone translate that for me. Translate that for me, Hobart.
I missed the first part. What did he say?
What happens if one of your kids one day came up and asked if he could go buy spike ball?
I actually own a spike ball. I would approve whatever they want.
Of course you own a spike ball.
Whatever King Avi and the two training partners want. It's totally fine.
Does Newberry want to be our guest next week for our new show?
Have you ever met James Newberry, Mr. Australia?
Yeah, I have.
Is he cool?
Times.
Is he a cool dude?
He's a cool guy.
You think it's true that he broke up with his girlfriend, or that was just a vicious rumor?
I think it is true. They both posted it on their Instagram.
Man, I don't think Hobart. If you got a divorce, would you post it on your Instagram?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not sure. I wonder if you need more followers to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wonder why you do that. Oh shit, Brandon Waddell, 3 thumbs down. Okay, we got to get back to the news, Mr. Australia. You're hurting our ratings.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Later. What time is it in Australia? This is like a real show we're doing. Okay, back to Kim Kardashian.
Get that picture up. Kim Kardashian, this is there. I mean, I have no comment on this. I just wanted to start somewhere. And I know we've been following with Kanye, and last weekend it was Kim Ye. And I figured if we're going to talk about the news, we might as well talk about the most popular thing in the news, which is celebrity news. So this was an outfit.
Where's her face? Where's her face?
That's a mask. It's like a statement piece. I want it. Actually, I made that joke when mask mandates were coming out. I was joking with a buddy of mine that I was going to start wearing a GIMP mask to work, but I didn't.
Okay, so she could actually see that. So we don't even know if that's really her.
Yeah, I think it is.
Is she pro? Is she like all pro mask? I can't see her being pro mask.
I think this is more of like a statement thing.
Like, fuck you guys.
I don't really understand fashion. But anyway,
152 million followers.
That's, like what? 80% of the US, 90% of the US?
I'm not going to lie. I think 30 million of those are fake. I think she only has 222 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, she has more fake followers than everyone on this show who's ever been on the show combined.
She has more fake followers than there are people in Manhattan. Moving on.
Okay.
We're going to get the ball rolling. Like I said, my goal is to be clickbaity for you tonight. I've been nice. I've been trying to, keep you off a soapbox, but tonight's the night. So
we're tempted to watch the NFL and turn this trash off. It's 11:30 a.m. in Australia.
Brutal. Well,
yeah, you take your woke ass to the NFL.
Go watch the NFL.
You put in your anal beads and you watch the NFL. Go ahead.
Yep, here we go. All right, this next one, just a little more TMZ. Tom Holland and Zendaya are dating. Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man, co-stars with model actress Zendaya. They have finally come out that they are dating. Chemistry on and off the set has sparked rumors since 2017, but both have denied it. Recently, Tom and Zendaya were seen publicly kissing in his car. I don't know why I drummed up this fact, but they both have a net worth, I think, of around $15 million. So good for them.
Wow. That's the next Spider-Man?
He's been in multiple Spider-Man movies.
He has?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Then I haven't seen some of them. And who's she? That's the girl, like the girl, Spider-Man's girlfriend. What's her name? Lois Lane?
Lois Lane. She's the love interest for Spider-Man. But also on her own, I think pretty successful acting and modeling career aside from Spider-Man. There you go, smooching in the car. How do people get these pictures?
I don't know, but someone made like $500 for getting that photo.
Way more than that. I would actually. That's a good news story. How much did that picture cost?
Oh, look, he's so excited. He's so excited. Good for him. Uh-oh, did I lose you, Hobart?
I'm back. I said to blow my nose.
Oh, I thought you farted.
No, I did that earlier.
I've never heard of them either. I never heard of those people either. That shows how out of the loop I am. I thought I'd seen every Spider-Man because my kids watch that shit. Okay,
we have two more stories to get through. Then we'll get through celebrity entertainment. We'll be done and dusted. New game show coming out. Someone you're gonna like this one. This was for you. The new game show is called The Activist.
Oh shit!
And I'm gonna find a way to get you on it.
God.
Activists go head-to-head in challenges to promote their causes with their success measured via online engagement, social metrics, and host inputs. The final challenge will be held at the G20. For those inquiring minds, the G20 is an intergovernmental forum comprising of 19 countries and the European Union. Works to address major issues related to the global economy, such as international financial stability, climate change mitigation, and sustainable development. Feedback on this show so far, not positive.
I want to tell you guys something about interesting about activism. The little bit I know about it. Most activism is just complete bullshit. It's for people who can't do anything. But when Greg Glassman was at the helm of CrossFit did get into activism because what happened is that Coca-Cola started meddling in the sciences, and we not only know Coca-Cola, and just what's funny is that the CEO of Coke is on the board of Pfizer. But anytime you get any of these idiots like Pfizer, Bayer, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, any of them meddling in the health sciences or in the sports sciences, it's completely biased and paid for nonsense. And even if I'm wrong, you're best off thinking that way. And so that's the reason why CrossFit got into activism, but because it was more of a protection mechanism. It was a mechanism to keep the spread of health and wealth going, to keep the lifeboats and to keep the affiliates going. And we know what happened. There was a paper put out that said there were... Anyway, fuck it. That's a whole nother show. I can't wait to have Greg on. I'm going to have Greg on like 20 shows in a row. Yeah, I said it.
Well, he's not going to top my record.
No, he's not.
But that's
I'm going to have his own mic either. He won't top you.
So Matt knows I'm going to roll down all the way to the bottom because we're going to talk about something good real quick before we jump into the real juiciness. Cool article. Did a little digging today on the topic of activism down in North Carolina. Volunteers needed. Lori Rollinson.
You want equal pay in the WNBA? You want fucking equal pay in the WNBA? Then work your ass off and become the president of the WNBA. Don't stand out front with a fucking sign complaining that they don't get equal pay. You're a lazy fuck. You're a beggar. Go work hard and become the CEO of the WNBA and get them equal pay. That's the way you do it. That's not... Activism is for cowards. Sorry.
I told you tonight was the night. I've been nice till now. Lori Rollinson, Director of Volunteer Services, explained that before COVID-19 pandemic, there were about 1,000 volunteers in her area that were home delivered meals across APA's 10-county areas down in North Carolina. During the pandemic, that number plummeted to 220. Since then, it has picked up somewhat to nearly 500, but program staff remain concerned about the number of volunteers. She basically said, obviously, we have half the volunteers that we had when this program is running smoothly. So, point being, kind of weird stuff all over the internet about volunteer and participation in volunteer organizations. So, my little advice of the week would be go out and volunteer if possible, something I need to do more of. But thought it was a cool article. And on the note of...
You really are trying to piss me off. These are people who volunteer to take food to people who have COVID who are stuck at home?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I also think this was to elderly patients, perhaps.
Awesome. I don't care who it's to.
Senior
That's
center.
awesome.
Senior center.
Great. I'd love to see the food. I'd love to see the food. You volunteer to do something good, and next thing you know, you're delivering 12 packs of Mountain Dew. I'd love to see the food they're taking to people.
Well, you want to keep rolling?
How long did you prep for today's show, Hobart? Danielle Brandon spends more time doing her hair. That's because he was Hobart was working on the news stories. He didn't have time for his hair.
Tell that person it's because I was spending time with their mom and they should relax a little bit.
Oh.
Clearly not enough if you're making that comment, so I will prep more next time. I apologize.
You are fully prepped. They're all positive about you, Hobart. I had to dig through to find that one negative.
I like it. I'll prep more. We'll keep rolling. That was supposed to be uplifting, like kind of give you something like a win of the week.
I do like it. I do like volunteering's cool. Volunteering's cool. You know what, though? Everyone should be volunteering all the time. Like, all the time.
Well, what's cool...
You get out of your car and there's trash on the ground, pick the trash up. There's someone in line behind you at the bank and they look like they're in a hurry. Let them go in front of you. The bank. Like anyone goes to the bank. That was stupid. Take two. You're in line at the grocery store and someone's behind you and they deserve to go in front of you according to what you think. Just do it. Just let them go for whatever reason. Just everyone should always be volunteering to make it a better place. Call LeBron James the C word on one show. Apologize the next show.
Little random acts of kindness.
Okay, go on.
All right, Black Widow lawsuit. Scarlett Johansson filed a lawsuit against Disney. Yes, here we go. I didn't really want to talk about that story anyway. Let's roll.
Oh, she looks good in that suit. Wow. She looks good. I like Scarlett Johansson. God, if I went to her Instagram account and saw she was woke, I'd die. Hello from Phoenix. How can I help you?
What's up, man? It's Sevan. It's Jake.
Hey, Jake. How are you?
Cool. Good. Hey, so
shouldn't you be on your way to Jacob? Shouldn't you be on your way to Dubai?
I wish, man.
Aren't
Still
you
trying to get that six-pack.
Different Jake, not Jacob. Okay.
It works. Jacob works.
Jacob.
Anyways, I'm trying to add my own news report for this week.
Okay.
So it's hilarious how I came across it. It was tanning sorry to be all inappropriate, but tanning your ball sack to increase your testosterone.
I've heard this. Sunshine on the butthole. This Sevan actually knows a lot about this.
I know nothing about this. But what's interesting is, do you think Sousa could pull a picture of this story up?
Please don't.
Is this an actual news story, or you just been hanging out with Ronnie Teasdale?
Oh, yes. That's hilarious. I didn't know you knew this.
This guy smokes weed. Jake, do you smoke weed?
I do, yes, sir.
I knew it.
You called me, but I was just listening to a podcast, and these guys were talking about it, and they're like, come check it up. And they pulled up this video. First video I saw, it was this Ronnie dude.
Yeah, Ronnie's my boy. Ronnie's been on the CrossFit podcast. I actually need to have him on this podcast.
He would be hilarious, because I saw him first on the behind your scenes, shaking his body.
Yes.
All crazy. And I was like, who is this dude?
They found, wait, scroll down a second. Sorry, Susan, I want to read that for a second. They found that men's testosterone levels went up by 120% when the participants' chests were exposed to UV light, and they went up 200%. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And 200%.
Is it real?
I don't think that's real. Hey, dude, if that's real, there would be like little things you could just put in your underwear, like a little red LED. And you just always have light on your nuts.
Look at the look that guy is giving us.
Oh yeah. His testosterone levels are through the roof. That guy's on meth, and he's waiting for 3 dudes to come over.
Oh, geez.
Okay, Jacob. Thanks for calling. We got to get back to Scarlett Johansson. Don't smoke weed more than once a week. Thank you.
Perfect.
See, free advice. Free advice.
Yeah, he's not going to take that advice, man.
I know. I don't think so either.
I'm going to go try and do just a little spread eagle sunshine time tomorrow morning. Scarlett Johansson.
Send me a photo.
I will. Scarlett Johansson filed a lawsuit against Disney. I actually didn't know this was happening. This was pretty interesting. Alleging a breach of contract related to the Black Widow's concurrent release in theaters and then on the same Disney Plus Premier Access. And I didn't even know Disney owned Marvel, which is also amazing to Disney. Disney also failed to renegotiate her earnings for the film, which were largely structured around box office performance. The movie, I haven't seen it, had great ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow. So basically what she's claiming is that she was supposed to get a cut of the theater money.
Yeah.
And they released it in Disney, which means people won't go to the theater. They'll watch it in their home. Wow. Sousa, can you come on for a second?
And they're not getting a print of that. She's not getting a cut of that online Disney streaming money.
What if I had a Coke bottle I just peed in? We talked to Hobart for 30 seconds while I pee.
Well, no, this is a good time. I'm going to do my. I was going to start a new little segment, and it was going to be my recommended watch for the week, something to watch. Little Netflix documentary. Yeah, you might have seen it already, and I've peeked it a little bit, and my wife was raving about it all week. Something to watch called River Runner. It's a Netflix documentary about Scott Lindgren, 20 plus years, extreme whitewater kayaker. Really interesting story. He wanted to conquer, I guess what they're called, the 4 great rivers that originate from Tibet's sacred Mount, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, golly, Kailash. Anyway, cool movie, cool documentary about emotional journey from him understanding, fragility of his own life. And I don't want to give it all away with how he navigates these rivers, but really cool movie just about an extreme sport and just kind of going through a journey of accepting your own mortality, but using that as a strength to conquer what looks like an insurmountable challenge and kind of being able to quantify your own legacy. So get out there, watch that. River Runner, Scott Lindgren, really cool movie.
You did a story without me?
Yeah, we had to. I started a new segment, and that was a really quick pee. Something to watch, a little watch recommendation, Netflix documentary for everybody out there this week.
Oh, good. Glad you were saying something smart. Hey, I want to tell you something. Tosh is a significantly better comedian than Dave Chappelle. Tosh is the funniest comedian alive.
Tosh.0?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
I don't agree with that.
Well, you're wrong.
Why do you say that?
Because I've watched both of them, and Tosh, he's just great.
He's just great. It's not an argument. But you're entitled to your opinion.
Timing, delivery, breadth and depth of subject matter, humility, ability to touch on a wide variety of subjects.
He does cover a wider variety of subjects.
Yes. I mean, nothing is off bounds for him. Race, sex, the whole... He's really another LA. I don't even like LA. Do I just hang up on this one? It's from LA.
No, let's check it out. How many thumbs down do we have?
Please tell me you voted yes on the recall.
Sevan,
Yes.
how the fuck are you gonna say that Tosh.0 is funnier than Dave Chappelle?
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't know we'd get a phone call, but I knew that's like just taking a bat and hitting the hive. I really think that.
What the fuck?
What you're stoned to? God damn it! Are all our listeners stoned?
Yes, that's the only way they can. That's the only way they can get through this without giving it more thumbs down. Just to be totally baked.
Tell me what you like about Chappelle. Tell me what you like about him.
He's funny, bro. Osborne just reacts to videos.
He what?
He just reacts to videos. Osborne just reacts to videos. Dave Chappelle is on the top.
So I used to think that too, but go on to either like I think it's Netflix, one of those streaming apps, and watch his stand-up. His stand-up is insane. He has 3 2-hour specials, Tosh does, and you will die. They are so good.
So that's another recommend to watch.
There's one that's called like Happy Places or Happy Days. Watch that one. He did it in 2010. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You're freaking hilarious.
Hey, what'd you vote on the recall? Yes or no? I know you're in California. Tell me.
Oh, I'm from California, but I don't live there no more. And if I did vote, I would vote. What's it? Get that guy out of office. I don't know what it is. Yes or no.
He's horrible. He's horrible. You sound like someone I know. What? Do I know you?
Yeah. You know me. I be commenting on your shit all the time. Oh, your cock goblin.
Oh, my what? What did she say?
I'm not going to repeat it.
Did she say cock goblin?
That's what I heard.
Oh, man. All righty. I will not have any of my cock goblin be talked about on my podcast. Thank you for calling. Bye. My cock goblin. I didn't think anyone knew about that. Someone must be watching my Alexa. Okay.
I'm all self-conscious about how heavy I breathe into the mic now. I'm trying to hold my fucking breath.
It. It's your show. It's your show.
Haven't breathed in the last 35 seconds.
Your word is longer valid for that. Your word is no longer valid for that reason. You're wrong. I knew that one. Gosh, with video. Let me tell you, you guys like Chappelle because it's the cool thing to do. I'm telling you just who's better.
I don't know. Chappelle's sketch comedy in his show I thought was excellent, and I've found way more entertainment from that than watching Tosh.0, but that's just my 2 cents.
Fair.
Butterflies are scary. Let's do it. Let's get rolling here. We got a lot of good stuff to get through.
Okay.
People got to know the news.
Okay.
I think this was some scientists in Asia or Indonesia observed adult milkweed butterflies using tiny claws on their feet to scratch wounds into caterpillars' bodies so they could lap the liquid that oozed out. So basically, one butterfly is flying down to a caterpillar, cutting it wide open, and then sucking out the juice. The reason they think they do this, which I don't understand how they discern this. Male butterflies seek certain compounds produced by milkweed, which repel predators and help the butterflies produce pheromones. These compounds exist after the caterpillars digest the milkweed, so the male butterflies fly down, tear them open, and suck the juice out so they can attract females.
Do the caterpillars die?
They didn't really say. I don't think they live.
So I have a milkweed forest. Have you ever seen my milkweed forest at my house?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
Of all the plants you have.
I'm gonna tag you tomorrow. So I have this milkweed forest. I planted it like 4 years ago, and it comes back every year stronger and stronger. And it has so many monarchs and monarch caterpillars in it right now. I mean, tons. It's crazy. That's crazy that you just said that story. And I see what's funny is my mom told me, I don't know if this is true, but my mom got the impression that the monarch butterflies, they don't actually go to the milk. They just lay their eggs at the milkweed. They don't actually get any nourishment from the milkweed plants, that they need some other plant to get nourishment from, like to, get the flowers, because the milkweed flowers are really tiny. The bees are always in them. But anyway, I wonder if that's why all the monarch butterflies always hang out in the milkweed, not only just to lay eggs, but to like rape and pillage
suck the caterpillar juice.
Yeah, suck the caterpillar juice. And they're huge. Those caterpillars are huge. I don't know if I believe that story. What's your source for that one?
Livescience.com. I believe it.
All right. Would you read anything you didn't believe without telling us? Or would you start it with like, hey, I'm not sure I believe this shit?
I have one story on here that I'm a little skeptical about. And then we have our conspiracy theory of the week, but we're getting there.
Okay.
Where are we now?
This
is a cool one.
Okay.
Here's another one for you. This is a soapbox opportunity for you, Sevan. Junk DNA. Okay. Huge swaths of our DNA library are made up of non-coding genes that were long regarded as junk DNA. Some of these gene sequences, once considered quote-unquote junk, are actually fragments of viruses. Whenever a virus infects you, there's a chance it will leave behind a piece of itself within your DNA. And if this happens in an egg or sperm cell, it will then be passed on through the generations. Now, quick disclaimer here, people. Most of this was discovered to occur only so far in marsupials. Those are little animals with the pouches, like the kangaroos, which live down in the area where our Australian friend called us from earlier. Or platypus. Platypus I think are marsupials too.
You make a lot of good connections.
Anyway, so I guess what's interesting about this is that they think potentially that basically you can pass on this virus DNA, which can help build resistances and immunities to viruses. But again, only studied so far in marsupials, so I'm not making any social or political commentary. I just thought it was a cool story, but I'm sure Sevan will.
So I don't know. I don't know what's true on this subject, but basically I've been told that our DNA is made up of 8% of us is made up from viruses. I was also told that it was a virus that whatever species or fucking plant we were before we were humans, that before we gave live birth, it was a virus that whatever we were that made it so humans gave live birth. Basically, it created the first mammals. Right? Isn't that one of the distinguishing qualities of mammals is that they give live birth? I'm treading in water that going to get me destroyed in YouTube. That's fine. I don't care.
Let's just say yes. Distinguishing characteristic, live birth.
So what's interesting about that, and I find today I was in the garage doing 100 pull-ups with Avi, and he asked Alexa something about the virus. He asked her something funny just out of the blue during the middle of the workout, like, Alexa, do you wear a mask? And she responded with like, I don't like any viruses. And I was just wanted to be like, you dumb bitch. But she's not real, so I didn't say that. And I don't call people names. I'm trying not to call people names. But isn't it crazy? It's like there's these words like virus and bacteria. There's just all these things that have all this negative connotation, and we don't know shit about them. They might be vital to our survival, to our evolution.
To some extent.
Yeah, I mean, everything. I mean, cars take you to the supermarket to buy food so you can stay alive, and they also run people over.
That's a bit of a leap, but I get what you're getting at.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Come on.
People like that butterfly story on the comments. All right, let's move on.
Hey, you don't have time to read the comments.
I just got to check. I'm on the whole breathing thing. It's got me freaked out now.
I understand.
All right, jump in.
Man, you're breathing loud. Now you're like, hey, most time it's you would think it's the exhaling, but it's this. But it doesn't bug me at all. Just so you know.
Well, I'll sit back a little bit.
All right.
This one's actually kind of cool. A little more science, and then we're going to roll on to the good stuff. Promise.
I rub my nose on my mic. I rub my viral load on my mic.
Yeah, you're really close to it.
Very close.
Bugs have metal teeth. Scientists already knew that the mandibles, fangs, and stingers of several invertebrate species contain large amounts of heavy metals such as zinc, copper, and manganese, up to 20% by weight in some species. They learned that the individual metal atoms are woven into the proteins, it's like a cyborg bug, woven into the proteins to create a strong, long-lasting composite material, which they've dubbed heavy element biometals. Here's why this is cool. The logical leap is that we could make tools with this same atomic arrangement of proteins and heavy metals that could lead to products that are light, strong, and resistant to everyday handling. Yet, another example of how nature knows best.
Hey, scroll back down to that spider, Souza. Is that why that spider are colored like that? Are those its teeth? Is that like the metal giving off that color?
No, I don't think. I think that's just its teeth or the fur on it. I think it's really hard to see. It was done at the microscopic level, but it's cool because it's like the body and the molecular structure of the animal has found a way to weave the metal materials or elements into the rest of their physical makeup. It's pretty cool.
Spiders are cool. I love the insect stuff. You know, I really like insects. You're a good dude.
Well, they do wild stuff. Like it just talks about now how they can chew through leaves faster. And
can you see this fingernail right here? When I right here?
Yeah.
You see how it's long?
Yeah, I have seen that. Is that because it's full of
some
heavy
people
element
would say
biomaterials.
that's a gender thing, that long nails mean you're female, but yet I have a penis and I have a long nail.
What do you do with it?
I've always had that long nail. I have 2 long nails. My grandfather had long nails. I use it to pick my teeth, my ears, and my nose. Scratch. And when I play frisbee, they immediately break off. So I haven't been playing much frisbee when I have long nails. Okay. Next story. Thank you.
All right, here you go. Rich people flying into space. It's the hot topic right now. Commanding the mission is 38-year-old billionaire Jared Isaacman. Now, this is the flight.
Jew. Isaacman.
Probably.
What is Bezos?
Wow. I'll look while we take this call.
Hey, there's going to be like the first woman in space and the first black guy in space. I wonder if this guy Isaacman is the first Jewish guy in space. Hello, Cedar Rapids. How can we help you on the show today? Please say something that improve our ratings and our Instagram followers.
Get us less thumbs down.
That's not going to happen. Sorry.
Oh, you're not stoned. That's awesome. Our first caller, it's not stoned. It's killer.
That's great.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a father of 2 and a third one soon. So no stoning here.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Thanks for making me get sober for a second by talking about kids.
There we go.
Ruining my vibe.
Passing on his viral load.
Yes.
There's a lot of DNA stuff going on. I'm wondering how long until Bezos discovers the fountain of youth and humans live forever.
Well, I think it's like the popular thing all the rich guys are working on, other than going to space. What is that's like Elon Musk's Neuralink.
Yeah, so they're maybe they'll work together.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know much about this shit, but I guess in your DNA, at the very end of the DNA strand, there are these little things that hold all the DNA on the strand. I forget what they're called. Do you know what they're called, Hobart? What are they?
I believe they're called telomeres.
Telomeres. And just from the YouTube videos I watch from 12-year-old kids make, and they teach me stuff and make me smarter. A lot of it has to do with the fact when those things fall off, shit starts going bad, and that's basically when your end of your time has come.
Well, that was the hypothesis on the clones. Was every clone would have shorter telomeres?
Oh, that's
as
interesting.
They went on.
Oh, wow.
But I don't know if that's true.
Did you ever see that Michael Keaton movie Multiplicity? And he basically is able to clone himself, and each clone becomes a little less functional. And I think his name's Steve. And there's this one clone who just walks around licking pizza. That's what I imagine. That's what I imagine the derivation of cloning looking like.
I don't think that will ever happen, by the way.
I think it will.
You do.
So I'll bet on it will, but I just want to have your take. So thank you.
Why do you think it'll happen?
I just look at the past 100 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 120.
There it is.
I just think it's gotta. I mean, that's the proof, right?
You mean just there's been so much crazy progress? You mean like 20 years ago there wasn't? I'm just gonna say something stupid here, but bear with me. 20 years ago there wasn't Facebook, and now everyone on the planet's on it. You mean just like that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be another 100 years, but I'll be dead. Maybe my kids. We'll see. Do
you know? I read in this book that the average medical surgical procedure has a lifespan of about 7 years. Meaning every 7 years they realize most medical procedures after 7 years they realize, that was dumb, and it goes away and doesn't come back. On average, 7 years. Like stents, they're starting to realize that stents are actually do more damage than good. Or how many different kinds of breast plants have they gone through, implants. So it makes me wonder how much progress we're actually making. I mean, some things clearly we're making progress.
Well, look at the average age. I mean, it's not really going up, right? Or the death, right?
Right.
So people aren't really living that much longer. Are they living better lives? Probably not.
And look how stupid we are. In the 1930s, we realized that diet, specifically sugar, Otto Warburg won a Nobel Prize for it, was cause of most cancers. We realized that diet was the cause of most cancers in the 30s, and yet we're still looking for a cure. It's like, can you imagine looking for a cure for pregnancy while you're given the cock? It's like, no, you have to stop sitting on penis if you don't want to get pregnant. There's no cure for it. You have to stop doing something. And yet we're still looking for a cure for cancer. It's same with this COVID thing. They're looking for a cure when everyone knows it's the only people who are dying are the people who eat like shit. And when I say the only, bear with me, people, the vast majority. And so I want to believe in your, I want to think it's like, yeah, we're making progress, but man, we just bark up the wrong trees. We're looking
maybe it'll turn bad, you know. People live forever, and then something really bad happens, you know.
Oh.
We'll destroy the planet and live forever immediately.
Just to say that again, what about destroying the planet?
If humans figured out a way to live forever, the planet would be destroyed within like 5 years.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Just overpopulate. Like yeah, I'm always one of my friends in college, Nick Hoyle, I don't know if I should have said his name. I guess it doesn't matter. He told me one time, humans will never destroy the planet. They'll kill themselves first. And then the planet would just bounce back. But I see what you're saying, but I just like that other narrative better.
Right. Well, I'm going to go. So thank you.
No. I have to go.
I definitely have to go.
I
was actually just reading a cool article about this. You might like this, Sevan. So talking about Jeff Bezos and his little exploration into defeating aging, as they're calling it. But
wait, what about the guy who went to space? The billionaire who's going to space.
No, we'll get back to that. But you like this. In this, the companies that they're partnering it with, investment is specifically aimed at rejuvenating certain parts or all parts of the human body. But they say diet can directly affect the immune system, which is why, as of recently, health apps are used in order to assist users to make healthy choices. Also, healthy morning routines that can be done in order to push towards a healthy lifestyle are encouraged. So, thought you might like that.
Yeah, what was the picture? I saw a picture pop up. What was that?
I missed it.
Oh, damn. It was like how long people live on average.
I think average lifespan is around 79 years.
For the United States?
I didn't check that.
All right, that's fine. That was one of the weird things when we had the guy on from...
there you go.
Where's 84?
Shit, I'm moving to Japan. One of those was Japan.
Yeah, you're right. The one with the red dot?
Yep. The
vaccine is the thinning of the population, says Craig White. Great. Now this YouTube video is going to get taken down because I read that out loud.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
Okay, go on. Wait, the billionaire in space.
Yeah, we're going to that. So this is a SpaceX project to send, I think, 3 or 4 civilians or an all-civilian crew into orbit for 3 days. So this flight is going into suborbital space, which...
By the way, Susan's put our email address up there twice now, or 3 times or 5 times on the show. So if you get random emails, just hate on Sousa. Okay, go on. SpaceX, 3 civilians.
I think it's 4 civilians headed into space. And this is all to help benefit St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. The flight the seats on the flight cost roughly $200 million, but they raised and donated $100 million to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, which raises the question, why not just donate the $200 million to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital? But it's not me to tell people how to spend their money. Raised an additional $13 million through a lottery to win seats on the plane. This was neat. 1 seat was reserved for St. Jude ambassador, 29-year-old Haley. I'm not going to pronounce her last name. Haley Arsenault. She was a bone cancer survivor who was treated at St. Jude's as a child and now works there as a physician's assistant. She'll be the youngest American, here you go, to go to space, as well as the first person with a prosthesis. Target launch no earlier than 8 p.m. Eastern time on September 15th. So what would it be, Tuesday or Wednesday? There you go. First civilian flight into space.
Wow. John George says, please take LeBron, Oprah, and Biden. That would be awesome. Yes, they should all go to space. I agree. They deserve it. They worked hard. They deserve a quick trip to space. Yeah, so the first person with prosthesis is going to go to... I wonder... and it's a girl, and she'll be the first 20... And she's the youngest person, you said? She's setting all sorts of records.
Youngest American to go to space. And she was a cancer survivor who was treated at St. Jude's.
All they have to do is find a picture of her in high school where she went to a party in blackface or something she tweeted about Asians on her Twitter account, and she will not be going.
I thought that was a nicer story.
Yeah, that is a cool story.
Sevan, you gonna get Starlink? Do you know what Starlink is?
I have heard of Starlink. I've only heard some bad shit about it.
What's the bad shit you've heard?
I've heard that like our night sky is going to be totally different now. There's going to be a ring of satellites we always see.
You know, I'm really curious about that. So right now, this is a crazy stat. So Starlink is going to be low orbit satellites that offer high speed connectivity and low latency, which means downloads means you can get to Pornhub quicker.
I'm sorry, what? Porn what? Hub?
Well, I was just say Starlink is just hyper fast internet. Which
I don't know what Pornhub is though.
I know you don't.
Go on. Get back to that.
Are you checking out what it is right now?
No, I just made a little note. I'll look after the show.
Smart. Anyway, Starlink is a company started by Elon Musk, designed to cover remote areas where traditional companies cannot easily reach. But what was interesting is it's a I think it's called suborbital or low orbit satellites. They're anywhere from 200 kilometers to 2,000 kilometers above Earth. So it's about 124 to 1,200 miles. But so I was really curious about this. So I was like, okay, how many are already up there? This just reminds you of how big the Earth is and the sky is and space in general. There's already 5,000 of these floating around above Earth.
What low orbit satellites or Starlink satellites?
No, not Starlink yet. Just low orbit satellites in general.
Hey, think about that for a second. How many did you say? 5,000 low orbit satellites? So that would mean that to get 500, that would mean once a week you said 5,000?
There's 5,000 up there right now.
That would mean once a week for the last 100 years we've been sending satellites up.
Well, so here's the kicker.
And we know that hasn't been happening. So that means every day, basically, there's a satellite going up somewhere on planet Earth. And that would still take 15 years, people. Holy shit.
And this will be multiple per day.
By the way, that's called thinking. You see how I contextualize that? See how I think? He says 5,000. I start thinking, well, shit, how long would it take to launch 5,000 satellites if you did one a day? It would take. See how that like puts things in perspective, people? That's called thinking.
Here's some more perspective for you, Sevan.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
This is I think the issue behind Starlink.
You're so pretentious.
Is that Starlink expects to launch somewhere between 30,000 to 42,000 satellites into what they're going to call the Starlink belt.
So are you saying, Sevan, don't be worried. You haven't even you don't even look at the night sky because you spend so much time on Pornhub. You don't notice any of the 5,000 that are up there now. Don't worry about the next 30,000 that are going up. Is that your way of like gently, or am I reading into that?
No, I think that's fair. That's kind of what I'm saying. But anyway.
So here's something I don't like about the article. Here's something I don't like about the article. It says that it's to reach places where there isn't internet. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, he's doing it. Like, it's cool he's doing it, but it's really just to bring faster internet everywhere and to make more money and to advance society and whatever, and so that Elon can get more chicks or whatever drives man at his most fundamental root. But it said on that article that it's 40%. It goes up to 40% the speed of light or whatever. That it's going to be the fastest internet in the history or whatever, right? And so, they don't need to couch it. Wow, that's an incredible graphic. You're making me hate Starlink, Souza. Is that really what it's going to look like in the night sky? Wow, that's Jetsons shit. Is that really what it's going to look like, Souza? What is that?
Yeah, that's a picture of the satellites being launched. I think it's above the Netherlands.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they launched
they spelled something out like "I love you" or something.
They launched like tens. I don't know, like tens and tens and tens of them at a time.
Wow. Anyway, it's cool that he's doing it, but they don't need to like couch it as like it's to help places where there's not internet. Like, look, it's just faster internet for everyone. Just be honest, and it's so you can have more money and sleep with more women, Elon, or men, or whatever. Like gets you excited. Proceed.
All right. I thought you'd like that story more than you did right there, but we're gonna move on to
like it. It's neat, but I just I'm old school. Like I struggle with all that shit in the air.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take an article from the Atlantic. Is that okay?
Please. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Okay. This is our conspiracy of the week. The internet is dead theory. I love the names of the people who come up with this. This is from Illuminati Pirate. The dead internet theory suggests that the internet has been almost entirely taken over by artificial intelligence. Peppered with casually offensive language, the post suggests that the internet died in 2016 or early 2017, and that it is now empty and devoid of people, as well as entirely sterile.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Are we on the just so I know what internet is? Are you and I on the internet now?
I think we're on the internet, yeah.
Okay, so I think so too. Okay, so it's not totally devoid unless we're just me and you are AI.
That's why it's so ironic.
Okay, go on.
It's just devoid of people. And this is just sterile podcast. Sorry. Much of the supposedly human-produced content you see online was actually created using AI. Illuminati Pirate claims, and was propagated by bots, possibly aided by a group of influencers, quote unquote, on the payroll of various corporations that are in cahoots. That's how you know it's a real story, with the government. The conspiring group's intention is, of course, to control our thoughts and get us to purchase stuff. Sevan, go.
I'm on the internet. As far as I know, man, the Pornhub has really lit up the comments. As far as I know, I am not a bot, and I think that just that in itself destroys the theory. And I use Wi-Fi calling. I guess does that kind of put me on the internet all the time? That's just a weird story. Like, why are they wasting time writing that? Like that can't even be true. The people reading that article are probably reading it on the internet. You're reading it on the internet now.
But it was just created by a bot to get people to buy stuff.
So it's even the bot that's telling the other bots that all there is bots on there.
Yeah.
A bot wrote that. That's amazing. Well, that's some advanced shit. Then maybe that's what they mean by live forever. All the people will be dead and all the bots will still be alive. The comments are full of Daniel Brandon, Pornhub, and Pornhub talk. It's good. It's good.
Just trying to get us canceled. We still only have one thumbs down, I think.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, you know what? I hope there's someone like driving like on a 3-hour drive now and they're listening to this. Like, I hope there's someone like every Sunday at 6 o'clock, like how I used to like Love Lines as a little kid, listen to it on the radio. I hope there's someone who's like, oh, Sundays at 6 p.m. They have a 2-hour drive and they're like, that's cool. At least I'll get to do it with James and Sevan.
Man, I hope that too. After this one, though, they might just be like, I hope my fucking car breaks down.
Hey, next week, I promise you, we are going to try a different guest. We're going to try BKG.
James Newberry is coming on.
Oh, we could do. Wow. Hey, Souza, I only like to do people on the show on the new show that we've had on before, because it would suck if I just want to do people we've done before. Can we get James Newberry on this week so then we can have him on the new show right away? That would be kind of cool. But yeah, I'd like to get like Noah or BKG or.
It would be super cool to have someone outside of the U.S. too. You know, it's not a little different world perspective.
Hey, there is no place outside of the U.S. So that's a conspiracy theory.
Damn right, baby. America. All right, here we go. Except for Mexico and this really cool animal trafficking story. So, for all you PETA lovers out there, between 2015, these stats are staggering. When I read stuff like this, it makes you realize how big the world is and how many people are in it, and how you should just stay focused on making yourself better and helping enhance everyone's lives around you who you see every day and love, not the rest of the world. Stay out of that mess. Between 2015 and 2020, one person helped smuggle more than so it's a 5-year span, more than $3.5 million in exotic animals between the border cities of Juarez, Mexico, and El Paso. This is the epicenter of the cross-border trade, according to government statistics. This fellow that was tried in this case and caught, Gutierrez, helped get the animals across the border. This is crazy. I'm going to go around opening everybody's mail now if I see it on their porch. His accomplices put these animals into boxes and mailed them across the United States. Last November, Mexican law enforcement agents seized more than 15,000 animals in 2 properties in Mexico City.
So there are these houses where people, like just local fucking drug addicts or people who just need to put food on their table, catch animals in the desert or wherever in Mexico in the jungle, bring them to this house, sell them to this house for cheap. And then this house, like the guy opens the door and instead of you buying crack, you sell like a horny toad lizard. And then he then once in a while would bring a bucket of horny toad lizards across the border and then sell them.
Yeah, and they're going to addresses in the U.S. and being mailed to people. They were one of the things they talked about in the article was how these male men and women are totally oblivious to maybe some poisonous animals or dangerous animals that they're carrying. I guess the reason this fellow was caught is because I think he tried to ship toucans, and though a couple of them died, the toucans were being too loud. And there's a horny toad.
Are you fucking kidding me? They did a toucan?
Every animal you can imagine. It's pretty wild. So can you
imagine killing a toucan?
Well, it just died in transit.
How many? That's just.
But
that's horrible.
They taped their beak shut because they were making too much noise. Now here's the deal.
No, are you serious? Did you make that up?
These guys are just opportunist entrepreneurs. What I'm really concerned with is how many people in the U.S. are buying these black market animals.
How many toucans are alive still? I'm sorry, I'm stuck on the toucan. Do you see why I like toucan?
What about the reptiles? Why are you so wrapped around the axle about these birds?
Because the toucan is just one of the most incredible birds in the world, and I'm pretty sure that there's like 6 left.
No, there's more than those southeastern white rhinos. Total population is unknown, but believed to exceed 10,000 mature individuals.
I don't believe that. I remember when I used to listen to NPR, I heard a story where there was only like 2 left.
10,000 is not a lot comparatively. Let's get on.
Man, imagine like lice. Like there's 10,000 toucans left, but someone with like a bad head lice probably has like 1,000 just on one head.
Let's look.
See how my brain does that? I'm always putting things in context, perspective.
Oh, so I just looked up how many lice in the average lice case. Do you want to know what came up?
Yeah, that was fast.
Coronavirus cases worldwide.
Of course, it's all you can look up.
They're on to me.
That's amazing.
Anyway, stop buying black market pets, people. Good Lord.
Hey, stop buying pets, period.
Do you be happy with a puppy mill dog like everyone else?
What? Yeah. Hey, dude, pet people are weird. The older I get, the more I realize it. Pet people.
You had a dog for a long time.
I still have 2 dogs. It's like the worst part about me. Hold on. Stand
if this isn't Danielle Brandon, hang up.
Danielle, what's up? Didn't you get the link we sent you so you could call directly into the show?
Man, I wish I was Danielle Brandon. This is just regular Brandon.
Oh, you had this. This is post-op Danielle.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Oh, you can buy a baby elephant for $7,000 and have it shipped to Little Rock.
That's right.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Good.
Go ahead. You talk. You take the show for a little bit. You take it for a little spin. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I was calling about a rhino that got its horn shaved, and they were likening it to us cutting our fingernails, but they were trimming this rhino's horn because they didn't want it to be poached and killed for its horn, but yet they did the same thing to it. I just want to get some thoughts on that.
I actually think I haven't done a ton of research on this, but I've read some articles on it. I actually think this is a way to keep the animal alive, right? So it's sad because you're obviously changing its life and its existence, but I do think there's some evidence that this helps reduce the killing of those animals. But yeah, it's not the best solution, I guess. I'm on board with that.
Do you know,
like the video, they're like cutting it with a chainsaw, and then they were like, "Don't worry, we put earplugs in the rhino." And the rhino has earplugs, so they didn't damage its hearing.
Do you know the backstory of Kellogg's, Dr. Kellogg's, like breakfast cereal?
Was this the don't eat meat because it makes you horny guy?
Yeah, and circumcision. Do you know about that?
Was he pro or against turtlenecks?
Let's circumcise men so that they'll masturbate less, because masturbation is wrong.
Yeah, because that's actually going to stop them.
Let's feed boys cereal. Yeah, right.
You couldn't you could chain every man's hands behind his back and he'll still find a way to masturbate. Get out of here with that.
Oh shit. I'm not okay with it. I don't know. That's tough, man. That's tough. I say you move all of the rhinos to the UAE, United Arab Emirates, where they cut people's hands off for stealing. And you just move all the rhinos there, and if anyone touches one, you just lump the if anyone touches a rhino, they get their fucking hands cut off.
I think that's a good plan.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Brandon.
Later.
Bye. Hey, is it appropriate to say people's names when they call in? Like, I see their name, but then I'm like, hey, should I be diming them out?
I think first name's okay.
Okay.
Jeremy,
what
you could do.
Thank you for the 499. Everyone hit the like button now.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
Look at you. It's funny you say that because like I never want to tell people to hit the like button or subscribe because it just feels like I'm just begging, and I'm okay with begging, but just not for myself. If I was begging for someone else, I'd be okay with it. But thank you. I can read it when you guys say it. Thank you. Okay.
I got to read up on John Kellogg. All right, here we go. Let's keep rolling. But anyway, stop buying black market animals.
Yeah. Well, did you see that gorilla was $400,000?
That's it? Who is this?
Spokane, Washington, Elmer.
Oh, let's hit it.
Mr. Fudd, how are you?
That's too derivative.
You better say something good, Elmer, because someone's calling from Longview, Texas at the same time.
Well, Sevan and James, I don't like misinformation, so I wanted to talk about a couple of things you brought up earlier. Does that sound good?
Oh, that sounds great. And you're not stoned. There'll be no taking advantage of you.
Well, I mean, don't say that quite yet.
Okay.
You talked about cancer earlier and trying to find a cure for it. Yes. I'm curious, Sevan, what do you think makes cancer happen?
How is that? I think a vast majority of cancers are created by lifestyle choices.
Yeah, I mean, it can be even simpler than that. I'll give you an idea. DNA damage.
Yeah. And what causes DNA damage?
Well, it could be something like eating a bunch of refined sugar.
Yeah.
It could also be something like being the unlucky person to be in the sun too long for one day causes melanoma.
Right.
Or DNA damage comes in all kinds of forms.
Or it could be from eating bad food and mixed with the sun, and then blaming the sun when it was really the bad food that made it so that you were more susceptible to the sun.
So we agree that DNA damage can come in a bunch of different forms.
Sure. But I hold the ability to go for sake of moving this conversation forward. Yes, I agree with you. But you're taking me into waters that I'm uncomfortable with because I don't even know what DNA is. But go on.
I mean, fair enough, man. And then, by the way, I'm totally with you on that. I do wish people, had better lifestyle habits. But the point I'm trying to make is the reason why the medical establishment is trying to, quote unquote, cure something like cancer is because it's also the key to reversing DNA damage, which can help somebody like you potentially live to be 150 or more.
Fair.
No, that's one way to attack it, right?
Sorry, so go on. Say it again.
So that's one way to attack it. And, that's just a mild defense for what's going on from that point of view. I love CrossFit's message, though, and I do think that there's a lot more that the individual could do instead of relying on somebody else to try and give them a magic pill to fix something that they could have prevented.
I could agree with everything you're saying, whether it's true or not true. It's so far out of balance, Elmer. It's so far out of balance. It should be 99% talking about lifestyle choices and 1% talking about mass quarantines, lockdowns, and vaccines. And instead, it's worse than the inverse of that. And I use the whole COVID thing as the example. And cancer's the same way, and type 2 diabetes the same way. And everything is so conflated and messed up right now. Like the other day, I was telling someone, I was like, man, yeah, lifestyle choices and what people eat. It's like 86% of all our medical costs, and doctors don't have a cure for it. And they go, well, no, the biggest cause of death is actually heart disease. It's like, oh, dude. And then I'd explain to the person, then I'd walk down that beat. And I don't blame them. They're just being tricked by words, right? And I go, okay, it's kind of like how you walked me down that hole. Hey, do you know what causes heart disease? And then we have to go back to its lifestyle choices. Don't get me wrong. I think that there are cancers. I'm open to 20% of cancers being caused just by random shit that we have no control over, right?
It's just caused by existence.
Even though I would more bet that it's like 1%. But let's say it is 20%. It's just that it's so far out of balance, looking for a cure for something. And then let's say the people who do get cancer and it's no fault of their own, they got the double whammy because they've been raised on Twinkies and Mountain Dew. It just sucks. But I hear you. I hear you.
No, I totally agree with what you're saying, Sevan. I was just trying to defend the reason why we even look for a cure for cancer is because it's the key to fixing DNA damage. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm sure a ton of good has come out of it. Also, it's let the scientists do it. The other 99% of us shouldn't be using that as a lifeboat, I guess. But I hear you.
No,
I'm with you.
That's exactly what I'm saying too. Yeah. Some of the good that comes out of that type of stuff is treatments for cystic fibrosis, sickle cell disease, other genetic diseases, and it's cool. We're making headway with that.
Cool. What do you do for a living?
I'm a medical student and a personal trainer. I've been coaching CrossFit for 10 years.
Oh, what an awesome combination! And where were you? You're not born in Little Rock, are you?
Little Rock? No, man. I was born in Mexico. I live in Seattle now.
Oh, your phone number I thought said Little Rock. You have a great accent.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, you have a great accent.
Anyways, I love the podcast, man. I love you guys' message. It just ticked me off that you were went off on, why do people even try and cure cancer? I was like, are you kidding?
Good. Well, thank you. Do you feel better? Or do you want to? You can say something nasty to me. Is there anything else you want to anything else you want to pile on?
Nah, man. There's no pile necessary.
All right, Elmer.
You guys have a great night.
All right. Call back again. Thanks, brother.
See ya.
Bye. Holy shit, that was civil.
That was great.
I liked his voice. I think he seduced me with it. I just watched Thomas Seyfried at the CrossFit Health Summit talk about cancer as a metabolic disease, and it was fantastic and informative. Jacqueline Robinson. Her profile picture is her showing a bicep.
But I think you should be able to disagree with people but still like them. I think that should be a normal thing.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the part where it gets hard. Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to go there. Okay, more stories.
Yeah, I have something coming up that's going to get you there, I think.
Okay, good.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Got a couple left. Little rugby update. The rugby championship is going on right now. I think it's 6 weeks. Contested annually between Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. These are the 4 highest ranked national teams in Southern Hemisphere.
Tell me which countries again? Sorry, I want to write that down.
Argentina.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa.
Wow. Is it Argentina? So there's a South American country that's got its... I had no idea. I thought that was like very white man sport. No,
very, very long-standing rugby heritage and culture in Argentina. Huge.
Awesome. Okay.
These are the 4 highest ranked national teams in the Southern Hemisphere. There's another competition called the Six Nations. Is a similar tournament in the Northern Hemisphere. I don't know a ton about rugby. I just have always heard that rugby players are awesome. They also have epic names. But anyway, Quade Cooper, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Quade, kicked a penalty off for Australia after the hooter, I imagine that's the whistle, to secure a dramatic win against world champion South Africa in the Rugby Championship. And then I just wanted to go over a couple cool names of rugby players: Michael Hooper, George Gregan, Malcolm Marks, and then I'm going to mispronounce this, and I'm sorry. I think it's Bongi or Bonji, but probably Bongi Bonambi. Just great names on rugby players. Anyway.
If you were a girl and you had cleavage, we would have more viewers.
Oh.
I'm just saying that.
I'm not
thinking about replacing you. I'm just telling you. That thought ran through my brain.
You know what we could do?
Is if you were talking about rugby and you had like your boobs pushed up, it would be so different.
We could find a filter. I've seen those filters that would turn me into
God, that would be amazing.
Give me more feminine features and maybe I mean, Cassandra, I could go grab a sports bra from her and we could just do the damn thing.
I was really hoping you would have just ignored me when I said that.
No.
Okay, so what about rugby? What? So what? Why are you telling me this rugby story?
Because you wanted me to bring more sports into it. I just thought it was sports outside of the U.S. It was fantastic.
Let me ask you this question about rugby. I heard that so they don't wear helmets or pads.
I think sometimes they have like a little cap, and they might do like ear protectors.
And I heard because of that they play smarter than our football players. Like our players wear all those pads to protect them, but I heard that's what really causes the damage because then they're more cavalier with smashing their head into people. And the same can be said with boxing. That's why UFC fighters, we haven't had a death in MMA, I don't think, or in the UFC because they use their hands to punch.
What's the CTE incidence in MMA?
Oh, it's probably so high.
Okay. Well, it's the same problem.
I mean, it seems like all old fighters are just, I was going to say the R word, but that one really bugs people.
Yeah. Their mental capacity has changed.
Yeah, they're broken. And I wonder if that's true with rugby. I wonder if rugby players, how they are. But they don't use their heads, right?
They still hit each other pretty hard. I mean, I believe there's form tackling to some extent in both sports. I think there's more of it in rugby than there is in gridiron football, American football. But I don't know too much about it. Hopefully,
why do you call it gridiron?
Because that's what American football is originally called, is gridiron football.
Why?
So you're just on the grid and it's clashing iron. I have no clue.
Something Sousa could find that out.
Yeah, he's not right now. He's just looking at concussions.
Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, rugby story.
Well, on that note, talk about people banging into each other and mental issues. I thought this was cool. In Johnson City, Kansas, this was put on by, I think, their city government. They're doing a mental health first aid course. It's an interactive course that gives people the skills to help someone who is developing a mental health problem or experiencing a mental health crisis. The evidence behind the program demonstrates that it builds mental health literacy and helps the public identify, understand, and respond to signs of mental illness. Participants are introduced to risk factors, warning signs of mental health problems, gain an understanding of their impact, and explore common interventions and treatments. Next session, if you're down in Johnson City, Kansas, is September 15th. I thought this was really cool because I just personally feel like this is something that needs to be talked about more in the U.S. because I think 90% of us are running around with some, low-grade mental health issue or injury.
Not me.
Not you.
Not me.
Not you. But just some stats. Suicide, second leading cause of, here you go. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 34 years old in the U.S. It's from the National Alliance of Mental Illness.
Oh, my God.
There's a stat for you. I know, that's why I told you I was going to get there, and I was going to set you up and give you a baseball bat and just let you swing, man. So we're here now.
Why do you think that is, that the second leading cause of death for people age of 10 to 34 is suicide? Why do you think that is?
Whereas CrossFit is a tool for your physical health and to some extent mental health, I don't think there are as many mental fitness tools available to us in today's world.
I think CrossFit's huge for your mental health.
Can be excellent for it. Yes.
Huge.
But there could be more tools for it out there.
Yeah.
You want me to give you some more stats to just set you up?
I don't think two or three things I want to say real quick. I don't think people realize how easy they have it in life, and that because of how easy they have it, it leads to really, really gnarly mental health issues. There's just people just aren't fighting for anything. They don't have direction. They don't have vision. They don't have like survival. And second, I don't think people realize how much your diet fucks with your head. So I see kids every day because of all the places I go with my kids, and I see kids who are 100 pounds who should only weigh 50 pounds. And they are metabolically deranged. Their eyes are doing weird stuff. And and you see that in people too. It's I see it in TV every day. I see it out in public. I see adults who's like, you can just see in their face they're metabolically deranged, and it affects your thinking process too. It affects your mental state. All food does, your body to digest food, it has to. There's a secretion of hormones. All of that has to do with your happiness and your mental stability. And so it's like you have. It's so obvious what's going on in our society. People think that there's no amount of talking someone off the edge if you're 300 pounds overweight. It's so sad. It doesn't have to be this way. It's more misdirection. I know you like the idea of that course, James. I bet you it's bullshit.
Yeah. Can I give you a little keyboard warrior stat that might fuel your fire?
Go ahead.
Men who consume more than 40 grams of sugar per day are highly likely to be diagnosed with depression in a few years. Just want to give you that one.
Dude, Sousa, how many grams of sugar are in a Coke?
I think, I don't know the answer.
And by the way, that's kind of a bullshit stat. That's too easy for me because that's just a correlate. I could come up with, I could tell you that men who've had their penis shut in a car door have an 80% chance of depression over the next 10 years too.
Yeah, but how many men are shutting their penises in car doors? Maybe like the refrigerator to cool it off. But
I'm just
sugar.
What?
39 grams of sugar in a 12
So
ounce
just
bag.
under the mark. Just under the mark.
So basically, what was the stat that? So if you drink a Coke a day and you're a male who's under 40, you're most likely to be depressed. Is that? I mean, it would be so easy for someone to say, Sevan, well, you can just say that there's so many people drinking Cokes these days that's just easy to say. It's like saying, and I'm not trying to defend Coke at all. I want to run with that Hobart so bad, but it's like saying people who are inhaling while they're driving are more likely to get an accident than exhaling, and you're like at 51%. It's one of those misguided stats. I need another data point. So many people are eating sugar that we don't even have a baseline anymore. By the way, I read something today, written by a guy named Matt Johnson. What the fuck's that guy's name? I read something crazy.
Oh, Chris Masterjohn.
Chris, yeah, you know who he is?
I do.
Oh my goodness. I read something he wrote today that I don't understand how smart people don't see this. Now, listen carefully to this. It doesn't matter whether what he's saying is true or not. Don't get caught up in that. I'm gonna point at the moon. Don't get caught staring at my hand. Vaccine mandates are not about public health. They are about public secrecy. None of that shit's important, by the way. He shouldn't have said any of that, but that's okay. They are about erasing the control group from society so the post-EUA efficacy and safety data cannot exist. Once again, it doesn't matter. I'm going to read it to you one more time. Don't get caught up in what the intention is, just the end effect. Vaccine mandates are about erasing the control group from society so that the post-EUA efficacy safety data cannot exist and the efficacy and safety in the general population remain shrouded in mystery. Now, regardless of what this guy is saying is true or not true, the outcome is the same. If we get everyone vaccinated, we wouldn't have a control group anymore. That's insane. It doesn't matter the reason why, people. You just can't do that. It's like driving with your fucking with your eyes closed. Someone has to keep their eyes open. Oh my God. That's an incredible wording, huh? What he said. I mean, he kind of botched it because he's got his angle in there so strong, and like I don't blame him. I do that too. It makes it so hard for people to see the truth in it, especially if like you're super duper pro vaccine. But like, it doesn't matter whether you're pro or against or neither, whatever the choices are. It's still just like, no, I don't drink LaCroix anymore. My wife told me there's like poison in the cans or they're not BPA free or some shit. My wife ruins all that shit for me. I use a Berkey water filter that's not legal in California because it cleans the water too much. Okay, sorry. Go on, Hobart.
And my dentist told me that too much seltzer water can be bad for your teeth.
I would believe a dentist if he had seen that, but not if he read that.
Yeah, well, she also said, soda was. She said stop eating sugar and anything that's refined as well. So I'm just down to water and broccoli.
Oh, you're a good dude. You're never gonna make it to. You're never gonna beat Casper Bauer. If you eat just water and broccoli.
Not even close. I've got fans in the comments. All right, we got one more.
Oh, do you know Casper Bauer texted me the other day?
Let's get him on.
I know. I courted him for a while. He texted me out of the blue because he made a post. It's not even a crazy post, and it got pulled down. Instagram pulled it down. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was like, God is great, like something like that.
Yeah. He's a concerned thinker poster. He doesn't just want to be spoon fed. He's a good guy. Great guy.
I'm not an artificial sweetener guy, John. I'm really not. When I do, I feel just as guilty for doing artificial sweeteners as I do real sweeteners. Okay, I don't know why. Just I feel ashamed. I'm okay feeling ashamed. It's okay feeling ashamed. You should be ashamed if you do bad shit.
One more.
Okay.
Maybe two more.
Lots of breathing from Hobart tonight.
Should I talk?
You know what I think? Are you doing nicotine? Are you smoking cigarettes or chewing tobacco?
No, you guys asked me to turn up my mic. I turned my mic up to 11.
Because I breathe heavy like that whenever I'm on nicotine. I'm like,
no.
No,
I can't really breathe through my nose. But
yeah, me neither.
That might be why.
I was so sick for the last 3 days. It was nuts.
Oh. Better get tested.
But nah, I did get tested. I don't care though. I still work out and shit. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. Go on.
Shopper's guilt. You sent me this one. Survey was conducted by OnePoll on behalf of the Kroger grocery store chain. 2,000 people in the U.S. were polled about their grocery shopping habits. This new survey says 40% of shoppers say they are only putting healthy items in their carts to avoid being judged at the checkout line. 40% of shoppers say they are only putting healthy items in their carts to avoid being judged at the checkout line.
I'm so glad you read that twice. I don't fucking believe that stat.
No, I don't believe that stat either. But if that is...
I want to, though. I really want to believe it.
If it is happening, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The survey also found that many shoppers use the self-checkout line to avoid being judged about their purchase or just be dickheads to go through the self-checkout line with 30 items and then not know how to scan them. And
did you add that yourself?
Yes. Drives me nuts. And more than 2 in 5 respondents have tried to focus on eating healthier since the pandemic began. Sevan, what you're doing is working. And that has meant... Hold on, we're not done. Okay. And that has meant increasing importance on vegan, vegetarian, and organic products. That's my last softball for you tonight.
Being vegan, vegetarian, or eating organic products have nothing to do with being healthy. That is like you will never win at basketball if you cannot dribble. And so if you can basically being vegan or vegetarian or eating organic only matter to people who've already mastered their fucking diet and their health. You've mastered your health. You're super duper fucking healthy. You have everything dialed in. And now you want to tinker with it and try doing it under the vegan guidelines, under the vegetarian guidelines, under the organic guidelines. Go ahead. More power to you. Awesome. Until you can dribble the ball forward and backward down the court, that is just another distraction and another selling tool. You are being manipulated, distracted from what really matters. What really matters is to not fucking eat poison for starters. Longview, Texas. Hey, I love it that people feel ashamed and put expensive products in there or healthy products in there. In their cart. You should feel ashamed. You should. It's like taking 2 parking spaces. You should feel like a complete douche for doing that. That's why you only do it way, way far away in the parking lot. Hello, Longhorn, Texas.
Hi. I'm actually in Louisiana, but I have a Texas number.
Ah. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Louisiana. Or Mrs. Louisiana with a very deep voice.
About what y'all are talking about, a better analogy would be like worrying about exactly what kind of oil you're putting in the car but you don't even change. You don't even do any of the maintenance at all. You don't rotate the tires. You don't change the oil. You don't do shit.
I don't know if I like the fact that he said it better. Why did he have to do that, Hobart? Why couldn't he have just been like, hey, I got a good analogy for that. Why do you have to be competitive with me? Why?
I like his analogy.
Well,
I like it too, but now I'm on the defensive and shit.
Well, that's good. It's that Hobart's been trying to get you to go off all night, so we just add to it.
You sit back from the comfort of your house, wait for me to throw out an analogy out there, and then call the number because you have one that's better. You probably have a fucking think tank working on analogies to beat me. You probably in a room with 6 other people.
Well, actually, I'm sitting outside with my dog, which I was going to call earlier about that because you were shitting on dogs earlier too. And I was like, man, that's.
I like dogs.
Dogs are cool.
Pets have their place. It's just that pet people in general, like, I mean, pet people are just, I mean, you know the lady who doesn't have kids and she has 6 dogs, or your neighbor that has 12 cats, and like you go over there and just pet people. I think 51% of the people who have pets are whack, and their pets are a manifestation of their whackness.
That might be true.
Okay, 52%. 52%. How high can I push you? 61%.
There is such a thing as weird dog people.
And bird owners.
Oh,
give me a fucking break. If you didn't find an injured bird and you're taking care of it, then stop owning birds.
True.
Is this a bad time to tell you that I had turtles? I had turtles growing up. This is a bad time to lay that in there.
I had reptiles growing up too.
Oh,
it's okay when you're a kid if you want to catch that shit. But when you're an adult... Look at the cat lady. That was good. Mr. Louisiana, what's your name?
At the Delta variant.
Oh, okay. He has the Delta variant, or it has the Delta variant?
Is at the Delta variant.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That was good. Yeah. I think I might follow you on Instagram. I think I might repost a lot of your stuff. You're a good dude.
Yeah.
Do I follow you, or do people just send me your stuff?
You don't. I'm like 48 followers strong right now, just killing it.
Shit.
And
callers, please do not call in unless you have 100,000 followers. Jesus Christ. At the Delta. I'm looking it up right now. I know I've seen this at the Delta. Oh shit! You don't even come up. Oh, there it is.
No, well they probably don't want if you're saying the wrong stuff, they might not want you to auto-populate very quickly.
And are your posts, I am inevitable?
What does that mean? I am inevitable?
Yeah, did you post that? I am inevitable? Look at there's the .delta variant in the... No.
No, that's not me.
Oh, okay.
The _Delta_ variant. I made another one the other day with just for fun, just because just horse dewormer.
It's amazing how many the Delta variants there are.
Horse dewormer. Oh man.
All right, brother. Thank you. Thanks for the better analogy.
You're welcome.
Peace. Love.
Bye.
Yeah. So shopping carts. Yeah, good. And I wonder if maybe that's a good way to end up taking home some healthy food. I wonder what they think is healthy. They're like, shit, I want to drink regular Coke, but people are looking, so I'm going to put in a case of Diet Coke. I'm healthy.
Organic.
Oh,
Organic
God,
cookies.
So much Diet Coke.
Or soda's addictive for a reason.
Man.
That's all I got.
We made it through the show?
Yeah.
Holy cow. I'm starting to wonder maybe if Matt Souza, just to show off as the executive producer, always says that Danielle Brandon's going to come on the show. So that, I think he's cool, but he knows she's not, and then he just blames her for not showing up.
Maybe it's me.
Ooh. Wow. Wow.
Wow, what?
She's supposed to have been on the show 4 times. She's only shown up 2 times, and both of those times you were on the show.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Hey, I did a lot of follow-up text this time, so
Yeah, it could be a fake number. Don't try it. Like, look at you. Just you being defensive, Souza. Souza means you're guilty. Dom Gazula. I'm on a 5-hour drive. You good man, Dom. Colin Lawrence, Hobart. If I was gay, I would suck a load off you. Holy cow, Colin. That's your good dude. I made that up. He didn't write that.
No, I know. He's been writing some other nice things about me, though.
Where's all the CrossFit activism today? Where are all the social media CrossFit activists from last year? How long does Greg Glassman have to refrain from speaking about CrossFit till the sale is completed? Christian Leon, you are a smart man. The day is coming. I left and came back. Danielle's still not here. Did she put her groceries away yet? Damn.
Sevan, do you have a favorite camera brand, camera lens? Third time somebody asking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you are a camera snob, you'll get a Leica. I don't know what their newest version is. This is like the 240. You'll get one of their manual cameras. They are insane. The pictures have no, what's that called when you have no peer? They have no peer. They are so unique and so amazing. The problem is this camera is $5,000 and the lens is probably $5,000.
So there's that.
But if you were only going to buy one camera and it was going to do everything for you, I don't have it back here behind me. It's in the garage where it lives, where I spend time with my kids. I would get a Sony A7S III, or wait for the next Sony A7S to come out. It's a remarkable low light camera. It shoots it super duper crazy. Yeah, look, those are the Leica lenses. Those are the cheapies. Oh, that 35 millimeter 2.0. That's what I had on my camera. Wow, it's not bad. That Sony 7S, it shoots at 240 frames a second, which means it's basically super duper slow-mo. And it shoots at 24p, which is like the fantastic cinematic look, and it shoots under low light. It's a really, really cool camera, and it takes amazing pictures. I'd say the camera's $3,500, and you could probably get a handful of cool lenses for another $3,000 or $4,000. Sony's amazing. Canon's amazing too. If you can do sports photography, you can't go wrong with Canon. Oh, the days when I was on the CrossFit tit and I owned every camera. I owned everything. 2-hour show, Hobart. I have this amazing story, but it's so good I don't want to tell it at the end of a show where no one will hear it.
Do it.
I have to pee. I'm looking at my notes. I talked about gender and sex, electrolytes, caffeine. I filmed for 2 weeks I filmed for this movie called Desert Runners. We talked about this before, right?
We didn't.
Oh, and I filmed in the 4 harshest deserts in the world, and the shoots were about 2 weeks long each. A week, 2 weeks. One was Antarctica, one was Gobi, one was the Sahara Desert, and one was the Atacama in Chile. They're supposedly the 4 driest places on the planet. The Atacama, supposedly there's sections there that we were in that it's never rained. Anyway, when I was there, I had to carry everything that I was going to use while filming these runners run through the desert over this long race. I had to keep on me, like in a backpack. And so like my food and just everything, right? Where was I going with this? Electrolytes. And so to drink coffee every day, what I would do is I would get these little Starbucks pouches of like coffee, and you just mix them with water and you drink them. And I would put them in these, like, I don't know, 1 liter bottles. I'd pour one in a 1 liter bottle. I didn't care how it tasted. I just wanted a steady stream of caffeine in my blood from the second I woke up to the second I went to sleep. Yeah, there's the movie. Thanks, Souza. And basically one of the producers there was like, "Hey man, you need to drink water." And I go, "I am drinking water." And they go, "No, that's coffee." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's coffee diluted in 1 liter of water. I'm still hydrating." And she was having trouble getting her head wrapped around that. And that's what I mean. Like, people just hear stuff and they just can't think for themselves. And like, there's like really serious issues that need to be thought out like every time. Like no matter where you stand on the abortion thing, don't take a side on it, man. Like think that thing through. Like, oh my God, you have no right telling women what to do with their bodies. Like really play that out. Or, oh my God, you have no right killing babies. Really think that out. Like walk down both of those paths. Don't be afraid. Don't jump on a side. Like there's a shortage of people who are thinking it. And the reason why is because they've been pushed into their brains by people manipulating them using words. Words are like magic. Do you remember those old Bugs Bunny cartoons? And like he would have the sorcerer's book. Do you remember that?
No, that's like Mickey Mouse. I like Fantasia. That's what I think of.
Okay, the same thing. And then like or like a character in a cartoon finds a book and then they read the magic words in there, and then the person turns into a rabbit. And as a kid, you think that's just bullshit. But then as you're an adult and you slowly wake up and you see what's going on in the world, you realize it's not bullshit. We're in a world full of sorcerers. There's people who have amazing, amazing vocabularies and amazing abilities to trick everyone into believing things, even if their eyes tell them different. And don't be afraid. It's okay to ask what words mean. It's okay. Like you don't have to, like when that guy was talking about DNA, like I've never seen DNA. I can only pretend. I don't lie to myself and tell you I know what it is. But I'm okay pretending that I know what it is, but I'm not okay with forgetting or lying to myself about the fact that I'm pretending. Like don't lie to yourself. Red does not mean stop. Don't lie to yourself. If you can't see it, it's not real. That's not true. But you know what I mean. For illustration, what I'm saying. Ideas are not real. Stop defending them with your life. Your life is real. And on that note, I think we're done.
Have a nice night.
Peace and love. Thanks for the news, Hobart.
You're welcome.
Next Sunday at 6?
We got to talk about that. I am on the road next Sunday. I will be at a seminar spreading meats, veggies, nuts, seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar.
God, if you haven't taken your L1 yet, take your L1. Greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life. Second, after having kids. It is really, really amazing. And thank you for doing that, Hobart. And CrossFit doesn't pay me to say that. Quite the contrary. So what day are we going to do it, Nick? Can we announce that? When will we do the news? Will we do it on Monday? On Saturday? No, because you're...
No, I've got a seminar.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it Monday the 20th.
Okay. You hear that, Souza? You hear that, Souza?
I'm good. We'll do it.
Monday the 20th. He's
Monday the
stoked.
20th.
He's like, thank God I don't have to schedule someone that day. Hey, maybe we'll get Colton Mertens on the next news show. He won't say much, but he will not show up.
Or James Newberry.
Oh, James Newberry. Okay, good point. Bye, guys. Thank you.